It is a horrifying her story of what has happened to women since Big Pharma
Yeah,
came
absolutely.
and began pushing their synthetic prescriptions
Yes.
on our bodies. And we left plant therapy and went into, Americans did, the Big Pharma sick care philosophy.
It was removed as an option.
Welcome to Season 5 of the Cannabis Truth podcast. Your host is Honey Smith Walls, author of the new book, Healing Beyond High, Cannabis Truth, a gentle, practical guide for elders to learn cannabis fundamentals safely and effectively without overuse or overwhelm. In a world where the FDA has yet to stamp its approval on this ancient natural remedy, Honey Smith Walls bridges the gap between Western healthcare norms, uplifting benefits and relief through gentle cannabis plant therapies. Join this 21st century cannabis shaman, uniquely positioned to assess the green intentions of medical, farming, and business industries in cannabis and uncover fascinating historical, political, scientific, and spiritual facets of the plant.
Amy, I'm so tickled. I have to say it again, that you showed up, that you're here, that we already have a history, a history going on.
Amen. Amen. I love that.
And I feel so connected to you, darling. I'm just thrilled that you're here. You look so precious in that green. Oh, my glory.
Thank you.
Only your smile outshines that. Honest.
You are so kind. I absolutely love and adore the fact that the energy and the vibration is on the level that it is, because very seldom do I get blessed with such things. I love people. I love humanity. But so many of us are walking through life unconscious. And so it's so pleasant to be in the space of another conscious sister who is in tune and aware of the blessings abound and the connection and the source that pours into us every day. I appreciate you for that, my love.
I feel exactly the same. I'm just having a love fest with you here. You're pushing every single one of my buttons. All the hair is standing up all over my body. Woo-hoo! And you just made my nips hard. So what what else? At 70, that's a big damn deal.
It is. It deserve to have such things.
Absolutely. All women for all their lives deserve to be able to appreciate her sexuality in any way that it shows up. I love being an older woman now. It means I survived all that shit that I, didn't know how to manage. And now I know how to manage this human body. Not completely, but so much better.
You're still here, though. That's why.
I'm still here. And like you said, this level of connectivity between you and me is the plane I wish to survive the rest of my life on, and only going upwards.
Amen. Amen and amen. Absolutely.
It's so peaceful up here on this plane.
It is
in this sisterly stuff going on.
My favorite thing is to enlighten people to their truth, who they are, the infinite potential and power that they have inside of them, and then to convert into effortless living. That's how we all should exist.
It just makes me cry to hear you say that. I've wanted to hear that for so long, and it just touches me deeply. And I'm trying not to do the ugly cry here, but boy, I almost felt it coming
You're
on
allowed
there.
to do the other cry. No way. Full disclosure in this, beautiful queen. Do not put any walls up. Do not hesitate to shine your most amazing brightness to me. There are no masks that are required in this space. There's a reason why we're here. And the law of attraction has blessed both of us to be on a level that we don't get to enjoy because the world is what it is. And I don't, in this moment of what we share, you will not have that limitation. That's just not part of what we do. Yeah.
Well, this is an amazingly special moment between us, and it's so real. And I feel incredibly powerful and vulnerable at the same instant. And
Isn't
so
that
what a dichotomy. But the power of woman, hello. And so, and the power of spirit within. It's the spirit within that's,
absolutely. And the law of polarity, which is an essential part of who we are, because we have to be tested in order to allow and confirm to our higher power how intentional we are to follow the guidance given.
Mm-hmm.
So that's the beauty of the power of a woman. Is men generally just ride the wave and rely very heavily on the female in their space to traffic them through the ugly.
Yeah, it's so true.
And so that's the beauty of us, is we do it in our life every day, 24/7 during our existence. And so we don't know anything but that.
Well, it's the difference between Florence Nightingale and a bull in a china closet.
Oh, amen. Yes, ma'am. Yeah. But I can tell you, I can be quite a bull when I want to.
Yeah, well, hello, we have the power, and collectively, if we lock arms.
Ooh. When we lock arms, no ifs.
When we lock
arms, yes,
the power is utterly
profound. Yeah.
World changing.
Yes.
World changing.
And it's long overdue.
Yes. Cultural changing.
Yes. Yes. Well, and I think the beauty of that too is understanding. So many times people feel like, well, there's not going to be enough people. I'm not ever going to find enough people to make a difference. And they lose touch with the beauty of the fact that one makes a difference, and it's one person at a time and one connection at a time that opens that door to really worry about the numbers. So scientifically proven, there's 8 billion people in the world, and the top 1%, Zoe, go potty. The puppies are here. Sorry.
I got 5 of them.
Yeah, they're like, oh, Mimi's home. Of that 1%, that's 8 million. And then if we take the square root of that 8 million, it's just under 9,000. So in this world of 8 billion people, if we can create one person at a time, one connection at a time, a community of 9,000, that's all that's required for us to impact humanity.
Oh my God.
It's not impossible. It's not impossible.
And well, here we are, sister. We're doing it.
Exactly. This is the beginning. And that's what I want you to know. Yeah.
Thank you. I'm with you. I'm there. I'm on it. I'm with you. I'm
Love
locked.
it.
I'm locked. I'm locked. I'm loaded.
Well, and I could feel that even in our connection before we even got physically in the same space with each other through our chat.
and through connecting to your profile and who you were and how your light shines through in your organicness of who you are, that it's not a, ooh, look at me kind of photo. It's a, this is all of me, and either you can handle me or carry on. And that's what I totally got out of it. And I was like, yeah.
This has been my horrific little secretive issue all my life. You got me?
Yeah.
Whether you handle me or not.
That's
Here
right. You're going to get all of me. I'm not going to give you less of me. And if I have to, then I don't even belong in your space.
Ooh, I learned a new word about a month ago to add to my womanly toolbox vocabulary inside my head. It's an inside word.
Right?
Eject.
Ooh.
Mm-hmm. If you are not in the right relationship, if it is not benefiting you, if you are not engaged in higher education for the sake of your culture and your planet,
get out,
baby. Yeah. Eject. Get out.
I love it.
I do too. I'm here.
You are so amazing. Where have you been all of my life?
I love being 70. I say it almost every day because I have a new and profound appreciation of this bag that carries my spirit.
And you know, that's all it is. That's the beauty in it, is it's only a capsulation of who we are. And we are soul and energy before we are anything else. We are soul and energy before we're anything else. And until people figure that out, that's the beauty in what I get to wake up every day and do. I absolutely love the connection that I get to make with the right souls that are seeking exactly what I'm seeking in this life. And whether we end up on joint ventures, on stages, or in the same room together or whatever, simply knowing that we are connected for whatever purpose in the higher power is all that matters.
I already feel, and just so that everybody has this clear, this is the first time Amy and I have ever gotten together.
Exactly.
I mean, this whole little love fest thing going on, this brand spanking.
This has been, well, it's generations old, but it's the first time we've shared the same room together.
Don't you feel that? Generations. It's ancient love. It's ancient appreciation. It's ancient herstory.
Amen. 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 Such a beautiful space.
It really is.
Thank you.
I'm honored to play. Oh, my drippy nose. Sorry.
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
My grandmother had a drippy nose too, and she used to drool out the corner of her mouth, and I'd tease her about it and giggle and tell her she was drooling and hand her nappies and stuff. Now here I am doing the same.
Here I am. I'm here to do it. Yeah.
But my grandmother, oh my God, what a goddess.
Well, hello, I'm Dr. Philip Blair, and I want to introduce you to Honey Smith Walls, and she's a real strong advocate and educator about cannabis. And she recently had an experience with beta-caryophyllene.
And all that day, I mean, I had just one. I just had this silly grin all over my face. Suddenly colors came back to me. I'm a musician and a creative, and colors are very important to me. They give me such joy, and I didn't realize how they had muted and how colors had just turned uninteresting.
Oh boy.
Eye-catching to me. And suddenly, bam, I'm seeing greens and, blues and reds and oranges and everything in between. And it was just so uplifting to me. It made me grateful. Oh. I do have another very important question I'd like to ask.
Yeah.
Because it's impacting me right now.
Okay.
This issue, and it's about HRT, hormone replacement therapy.
Yes, ma'am.
And I just read a book called Estrogen Matters: Why Taking Hormones in Menopause Can Improve Women's Well-Being and Lengthen Their Lives Without Raising the Risk of Breast Cancer. And it's by Avram Blooming, MD, and Carol Tavris, PhD. So I speed read that book on audio.
Yes, ma'am.
It is a horrifying her story of what has happened to women since Big Pharma came
absolutely
and began pushing their synthetic prescriptions on our bodies. And we left plant therapy and went into, Americans did, the Big Pharma sick care philosophy.
Well, a lot, not even so much that we left plant therapy, but that it was no longer an option to us. It was removed as an option. So the only thing made available to us was what we're working with now. Yeah.
Right. Now that's changing. But I am at this age still extremely confused over who to believe, who to listen to, what's true. I'm not a doctor. I'm not a scientist. I do hang out in that realm.
Sure.
Because my industry and what I do. But
yes, ma'am.
aside from all that, this is personal.
Yeah.
And I don't know who to believe because I've been going to damn doctors all my life, and none of my primaries ever discuss HRT with me. None of them.
Well, because it's still a new field, and it's almost too close to the holistic medicine for a primary doctor to have that feeding their pockets, to allow them to, they refer who feeds their pockets.
They cannot be holistic. I just heard you say that.
They can't. That's a reason why holistic medicine has had the challenge that it has to establish itself. And even in those that seek certification in it, the behind the scenes of it makes it almost near impossible. So many are having to leave medicine as a whole and finding ulterior ways to still do their work. But unfortunately, they also remove themselves from the supply.
Right.
And so it makes their job very challenging. So they have to believe in it enough to trust that plugging into the right space, they will be funded through the right ways, but it won't be through what they've been accustomed to for that many years. And many just don't have the courage and the bravery to do that. They're too comfortable, and they'll settle for challenging and compromising their values because of the comfortability and the security of having that connection.
I think a lot of them get locked into the system too because of the amount of money that they owe for their education.
Absolutely.
No other ideas about how to help humanity other than the cattle call that insurance and Big Pharma have designed for them.
Well, and the generations and generations and generations of programming that comes along with that.
That's it. That's it. That's absolutely it. Big Pharma has programmed us to believe exactly what our doctors tell us, and they're telling the doctor what to tell us.
Correct. Yes, ma'am. Yeah.
So when
the hardest part is going into the inner journey. So where you said, I don't know who to listen to, I don't know who to trust, I don't know who to believe, I don't know that. It comes into an inner knowing. That's the only answer that I have, is that inner knowing that it's something bigger than what's being offered to me outside. And am I in tune enough with my body to try different things and be able to know, yes, that worked, that's what I'm seeking. No, that's not what I'm seeking. I need to keep searching. And that's a really long path, unfortunately, but yeah.
It's a path of discovery. And in my industry, we prepare patients for this particular time in their journey in plant medicine. We tell them this is what you're going to go through on this journey, a path of discovery. It takes time.
It takes time.
Procedure.
There's no magic
learning.
equation. Yeah.
You have to do the thing, wait some time, jot down the information, the data, and repeat the process and increase or decrease. That's titration.
Right.
And then we have a process in this discovery of realizing what actually is working for us, and it's written down. Now, this is just science.
Correct.
Humans are not encouraged to follow scientific process.
No, well, in science, though, what people forget is when you speak of science, there's a beauty in science that there is a spiritual science, a mental science, a physical science, and an energetic science. And nobody wants to attach all of those things, but those are the sciences that speak into our existence. And without knowing of all of them, you're going to have gaps because all of them are required in order to be in our greatest state.
Religion doesn't teach any of that. I'm sorry to say, neither does our school
nor
system.
does society. Yeah.
Right. Society, any of our culture anyway. And it took me almost all this time to figure that out and to find those sources that you're just talking about.
Correct.
Thought leaders,
change makers, catalysts.
Change makers. Yes. Goddesses.
Yes. Well, and honestly, the truth of our wealth. So when I say wealth, I'm speaking physical, emotional, mental wealth. Okay. All of it together. The truth of our wealth comes down to the most basic principles of life. What is the water source that you are coating your largest organ of your body with? That are you feeding, which we are 90% water? How are you refueling what you're created in? And that we know is tainted and compromised socially. And then your nutrition, not simply the food that you put in your body, but what are you feeding into your eyes that go into your soul? What are you feeding your ears to go into your soul? And how are you feeding your mind? And if those things are aligned, whatever your physical state is, and that point is exactly what it's supposed to be, because you're taking care of your true wealth.
Amy, this is the curriculum for every kindergarten student.
Yes, ma'am. And every 100-year-old that never learned it younger.
That never got it. Never had the opportunity. This is the standard by which we should be raising our children. And
this
if you have
to have that I am, that's why it starts with one. That's why it starts with one, honey. That's why we're here. That's where the magnet and the draw comes in to fuel those that are seeking, that know that there's something so much more than what they're being fed. Yeah.
It's on such a different, higher level than anything I've ever experienced. And it's such a gift to have you, to see you, to be with you, to experience you, to feel you, to know you, and all of that. It's just, oh my glory. This has just been such a thrill.
It's such a pleasure as well. Thank you for loving me and opening the door and trusting me to share space with you. It's an honor and privilege.
I just feel I'm just giddy and lightheaded now because of you and this and this connection. Wow. I hope everybody gets to feel this. I know others have and have talked about it, and it's such a lovely space.
It is. It's a beautiful space, and there is there is the right movement out there. There is the right community. There is the people that are plugged into this information. It does exist. Unfortunately, it's not huge, but it's not supposed to be. Like I said, 9,000 out of 8 billion.
I love that.
9,000.
That factoid is so precious to me. Just 9,000.
9,000. That's easy. Yeah.
That's easy.
Absolutely.
That's easy.
We could fill a stadium with all the right people and the world is going to be okay.
Let's go to Paris and do it at the Olympics.
I love it. Such a pleasure. Absolutely.
Really
and that's really the basics of it. It's the chaos. It's the inundation. It's the bombardment of information and input and all of these things that allow and keep people in their subdued state. It removes them from being curious. It removes them from testing these things for themselves. It removes them from thinking for themselves, because everything that we need is already inside of us. There is absolutely nothing that we required from the external world. Nothing.
I love you, Amy.
I love you too, honey.
Will you come back and play? Will you come back and play this headspace?
Yes, absolutely, my love. And anybody that we can share it with that's willing to listen and is open are the people that we need in this space. Because that's what it will require.
Do you mind if I share this as an episode? Pass it around for people to see what real connection looks like?
Absolutely, because it's missing in the world.
I think so too.
It's missing in the world. Everybody is about the numbers and the names and the affiliation and the this and the that. Do you really know the people you're sharing space with? Do you know their why? Have you asked them their burning passion and their desire? What is it that they want out of life? How is it that they care to give back? Because if you don't know those things, you really don't know them as individuals. And that is why humanity is hurting the way that it is. Because we don't take the time to listen to one another, or to even take the time to know for ourselves. I could walk down a street and ask 7 out of 10 people, what is your goal? What are you striving for in life? And they'll go, huh? What's that mean?
Right.
What's that mean? So let's remove the containers. Let's remove the conditioning and the programming, and let's encourage each and every one of us to go inward and ask ourselves, why am I here? What is it that my existence serves in this purpose? Am I here for me? Am I here for other people? How do I do that? But how do I serve myself enough to have the fuel required by plugging into the necessary source to then overflow into those that are wanting similar things, so that I can share my story and empower them?
Speaking of, I listen to Panache Desai every day for an hour, every morning. He's just brilliant. I want to listen to you. Do you have a talk every morning somewhere?
You know, I do not. I've had a number of people ask me to take the time to podcast and put more of me out there. I've got my webpage that's my name, amimaikoski.com, that definitely has different podcasts and interviews that I've been on that share bits and pieces of my wisdom. I do feel the pull that I need to put more of me out there to touch more. And I will definitely follow that direction. But the work that I do currently in my own self-mastery is my priority. And so once I have completed the stage of where I am at, I will then pour more into those that are seeking it. But this network is immense. And I love touching those that I have the opportunity to. And once a connection is made, it's irreversible. That's right. Yeah. That will sustain beyond the ends of time and existence.
Do you mind if I shove this around a little bit in your honor so that
my pleasure.
Some other women can find you too and benefit from the wisdom of your experience even in your youth? You're still just a snot-nosed pup, I see. And so okay, honey, I appreciate
But yeah,
your
by all means. And when you do that, my Facebook profile, it has my full name on it. So you're welcome to just attach that so others can find me as well. I am here to be a tool. I'm here to be a tool in my Creator's hands to touch those that are seeking. My purpose here on this earth is to help others to rediscover their truth, who they are, what that infinite potential and power inside of them is, and then to allow them to live that effortless living because it's so organically natural to who they're supposed to be.
Girl, you are just like a little spiritual Swiss Army knife.
Thank you. My pleasure, beautiful. My pleasure. Thank you for honoring me and giving me this space to share with you today.
Thank you so much. I'm going to drag you back on my show.
I can't wait to hear from you. You got it, girl. Let's do it.
We all need you. I'm just saying it out loud.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right.
I received that.
Have a fabulous day. I love you. And thank you again for sharing your time and wisdom with us all.
My pleasure, beautiful queen. Keep up the profound work, honey. I appreciate and love you as well.
Okay. Take care. Bye.
You've been listening to another Cannabis Truth podcast with 21st century cannabis shaman Honey Smith Walls. It is important to use verifiably safe products and look out for yourself while we're in this wild, wild west of cannabis right now. Ask for help. It can get complicated. If you need serious medical attention, please consult one of the specialists at cannabisclinicians.org. They will get you to the right person and therapy for your issues. Tune in here for weekly foundational knowledge and learn to determine the best choices and cannabis strategies for your issues. But please be advised that shamans are not doctors or scientists. You'll find those at cannabisclinicians.org. Unless otherwise proven by a reputable third-party lab test, please regard all street weed as contaminated. It may do grave harm to a patient with a delicate immune system who already has inflammatory issues like arthritis, IBS, fibromyalgia, or worse. Thank you for your time today.